There are 10 ways people improve pension growth. Way number one, if they've got an employer pension, they first pull down what it is from whichever portal they have it and check to make sure it's not a default pension. If it is, it's almost certainly likely to be low growth. Then they ask their provider, what are the options available within this? And they move to, if suitable, a higher growth one. That's point number one. Point number two, they don't just stick with what the IFA or the wealth manager has told them is aggressive growth, because that's often legally obliged to be something as low as between 5 to 8%. Whereas we know, for instance, many indices, just general benchmarks, have been doing 15% per annum for over a decade. So what they do instead is they say, well, you're calling it aggressive growth. That's putting me off, but this isn't actually aggressive growth. So they demand more and a more bespoke offering. Number three, if they're with the kind of wealth manager who buys their own products and then double charges them twice, they ask them, what have you put my money in, and why has the funds you've bought other funds purchased by you and given me 2 layers of fees? That saves them from not being able to turn 100,000 into $1 million, because that's the goal. Number four, and again, looking at the goal of 100,000 to $1 million, they work out what the maths is for free from free online calculators. If, for instance, they're returning a longer term average benchmark of 15% per annum, which has been done by broad market benchmarks widely available as index trackers, then first of all, they find out the S&P 500, for instance, and we'll come to that in a second. And they work out that that means you're doubling your money in 5 years. So 100,000 becomes 200,000 in 5, becomes 400,000 in 10, which becomes 800,000, which gets you to your $1 million or within a hair's breadth of it thereafter. Pretty simple maths on it. Okay. The free tools, campaignfor1million.com. Where are we? Number five, what they do is they say, wait a minute, why am I only invested in UK companies? They're renowned for being undervalued, yes, but also out of fashion and not really high growth. An exceptional year, or a year which is an exception to that rule, was 2025, because mining companies did well, which is what the UK markets are full of largely. So they ask, well, what else is available there, and why hasn't the investor, the fund manager, the IFA, invested in those other areas? Number six, they look for where there is growth, for instance, global markets, US, and they reallocate and force the IFA to reallocate. Because the IFAs won't do it. They've got an incentive to keep selling you the same old stuff that they might be tied to. And they ask the IFA, are you tied? Is this why you're only offering me this? Now, those IFAs aren't supposed to be tied. They're not supposed to be allowed to be tied. But until you ask them the forceful question, what are all your conflicts? And they have to legally tell you all of this. They won't necessarily disclose that actually, yes, they've got a prejudice because of the house view or whatever it is with a particular outlook. And if that particular outlook tends to be lower growth, they're not suitable for you. Number seven, to get from 100,000 to $1 million, the seventh thing people will do is they'll look at those tax avoidance vehicles offered by the government called SIPs and ISAs, and they will start to manage their own capital to get the higher growth in the kind of products and services they want. Number eight, they'll look at the individual holdings of what is actually growing in their portfolio. For instance, it might be Nvidia, and then they'll look at the amount of their money which is in there. If they've got one of 5 funds and that fund has got 1% in Nvidia, then the chances are they've got under 1% in a growth company, which they have seen has been the driver of growth. So what they'll do instead is say, I'll just buy that directly through a SIP or an ISA with a provider like Barclays. Use a SIP account with Barclays and just buy more of that myself. Number 9, they'll ask their employer, who might be contributing to their pension, are you willing to contribute to my SIP? Can I go independent instead? If the employer says no, fine. But what they'll look to do is move from their wealth manager, especially if it's a St. James's Place, they'll look to move over and control their SIP and ISA themselves, or whichever IFA has not been delivering growth for them. Number 10, they'll use the tools to do the research themselves for free, so they are better equipped to counter all the arguments the IFA and wealth manager is going to give them as to why they should be satisfied with 5%. Those free tools, campaignfor1million.com. Every single one of them is free, and it gets better we don't even want your email address when you put the information in. You can put it in, you'll get all the outputs. We don't want any information from you. You can say no to all cookies. We just want you to get from 100,000 to 1 million a hell of a lot sooner than you are. I think that was 10 ways. There'll be more of these videos in future. Thank you.